Hi, it's AP Gaming Real. We're going to be playing a one-shot of a game called Metroville. I was sent a review copy by Tyler Elliott. Just want to read a little bit about the game, and the drive-thru RPG link will be included in the description. Metroville is a superpowered role-playing game system where superpowers are wielded by the righteous, flawed, excuse me, and the downright evil. Metroville is a narrative-focused role-playing game with creativity and collaboration at the heart of its design. Metroville incorporates a D6 six-sided dice die pool where you add a core attribute with the modifier of any relevant skills or powers. Every die that rolls above a 3 counts as successes against a target number decided by the narrator based on the action. In Metroville, there are over 30 powers that you can choose from, mixing and matching them to create your character. The coolest part is that there are no set moves or spells for each power, so creativity can be a huge advantage for players and narrators. This means that there are many dynamic ways to solve problems in Metroville. Origins takes place of traditional classes in Metroville. Origins define how your character got their powers, not how they use them. Characters in Metroville could have gained their powers as a result of their alien species, their enhanced genetics, an experiment, an accident, and more. So today in Metroville, we get the and then newspaper slaps up on the front. And it, shows a like hypnosis swirl is like the thing. But it has a like timepiece in the middle of the swirl that says time wave on its way forward. No idea if we have the time to counter it. And we see that someone is carrying this newspaper down a cheerfully decorated but still very corporate hallway. They open a door and they leave the newspaper in front of an executive and then put more newspapers in front of each executive in a boardroom. There are several executives who have nameplates that are clearly missing from the discussion. And the one labeled CEO has their chair turned to look out a massive window looking over the bay of Metroville, but we can't see who they are. The chief logistics officer stands at his place. The nameplate reads Jacob Freeze, and he says, "Well, hey guys, let me tell you, we got some problems here, eh? Aquatic Girl really messed up the fishing in the Gulf of Mexico while she was fighting off the Pure Ones invasion. Someone needs to think of the fishermen out there. Fortunately, our care package is headed that way, huh? Lot of maple syrup. We're getting them exactly what they need. Gonna get them some of that good moose meat so they can sustain themselves while we get the fishing situation set up." And we hear that, whoever is sitting in the big chair goes like double clap. The camera turns toward marketing, where there is an inky black hole made with tentacles like pulsing out of it and like a lidless eye. And the nameplate reads Gonoth the Randomly Biased Marketing. The room is filled with like a dark hum as blood begins to drip from the ceiling, and we hear like a and the person sitting at the CEO seat turns around. He looks like he is like late 20s, early 30s, wearing a varsity jacket with like a championship ring. And he goes, "Ha! Galnoth, incredible!" And we see it reads Crusher Kaczynski, Chief Executive Officer. Everything about him is totally normal, except his fists are like 3 times bigger than regular. And he says, "Look, guys, I know that we here at Excelsior Unlimited are doing our best. Yes, we are a front company for a evil society. Sure, but we need to make sure that the world is left a better place once we rule all of it. And I'm loving what I'm hearing from you, Gonoth. That is a completely random idea, and you know that we here like to think outside the box." The person sitting at the desk that reads Chief Technical Officer is a young woman. Maybe she's like a young teen. Maybe she's in her early 20s. She's got the like hair buzzed down the sides and like a green fallen over mohawk, tattoos all down her arms, like a anarchy symbol tattooed on her forehead. She looks like she's way too cool to be here. Both of her boots are up on the table, and she goes, "Look, all I'm saying is this week we should definitely include cybernetics." And everybody goes, "Ugh, no." And her nameplate reads Overflow Exception, Chief Technical Officer. Listen, Overflow, I love you, kid, but I have to tell you, nobody wants cybernetics in this economy. Let me tell you something. Our monster design team, they do a lot of good work, but they are led by a witch, and you know how they get around technology. That's what I'm saying, kid, okay? I'm glad we're all on the same page here. Baroness, why don't you fill us in with what's going on with HR? I'm gonna call in the team. So, the chair is empty, where it says Baroness Camilla Heartstealer, Human Resources, and then there's like an explosion of bats as an Eastern European woman with extremely pale skin adjusts her glasses and says, "Well, we're going to have to do some to let go several employees this week. It seems that they have become huge fan of the Bladers." And the CEO is like, "Keep going, guys, keep going. I'll be back in just a minute." He opens up double doors, and the three of you are standing there, and he goes, "Ho, my monster design team. These are the guys I want to see this week. Oh boy." Who wants to describe their character first?
Okay, sure.
Nat, which form are you in? So I'm going to throw them up on the overlay, you know.
Would one of you be willing to carry coffee for me, or do I need to carry it myself, bound to somebody?
I will carry it. I'll carry it.
Okay, so you're showing up as Pumpkin Spice?
Yes. So Pumpkin Spice is about the size of a regular house cat, but has 6 legs and 2 tails, and makes strange noises, and is padding along, very sure of itself.
All right. Crusher kneels down use his massive hand. You know, you're a cat, so it looks so much bigger to your tiny body as he goes to like brush your head, and he's like, "Pumpkin Spice, baby, everything you've been doing with the mascot team, incredible. I just have to say, sales have never been higher. We can use all of this money towards the evil of bringing the world under our control. Wow, Pumpkin, you are just incredibly cute."
As Pumpkin walks in and listens to this, can't help but start purring, but it sounds like an idling Harley.
Okay.
Rumble.
Who's next?
I guess walking behind him with a stack of papers is a normalish looking business dude in his suit and tie and all the good stuff, except he's got a domino mask on for whatever reason. And as he's walking up, another of him kind of walks from a side, just out of nowhere, steps up and hands him another sheet of paper to add to his stack. And it just, as he gets closer and closer to the boardrooms, it's been doing that the whole way down the hallway.
Crusher comes over to bring you in for a bear hug, and he goes, "My man, Dupla Dan. Wow, and Dan, great work. Dan down the hallway. I see you there. You're keeping it real, my man."
It's like, actually, there's several different reactions. I'm just ignoring him as I'm like, back at him.
Oh, that's you, Cotton.
Oh, I didn't know if he was done. I'm sorry.
I'm done.
Claire comes in next. I guess she's dressed like a witch with a blue hat and everything. She's also got large blue and orange wings and horns that stick out of her hat. She's got tan skin and thick brown hair, and she's currently holding one extra large cup of coffee.
Claire, fantastic. You know, I don't like to talk about leadership. Really, everybody is equal in our new world order, as equal as we can make them, and we will make them equal. But sometimes leadership is needed, and you're my go-to on the monster development team. Sure, you're 0-37 against the Bladers, but still, I've got a lot of faith in you. Can you bring me the win?
I think so.
All right, let's get back into that meeting and process there, and I'm going to lay out my vision for what we're doing. But before we go in there, is there anything the three of you need in order to succeed on your journey with this company? Anything you need at all, just tell me. I'll make it happen. Okay, we're going in there, team. Let's do this.
Dan's like looking at the boss girl going,
I'm currently compensated quite generously.
Right, the caffeine thing. Fortunately, we've secured the futures for that. It's a great enterprise. Plus, we slap your name and your face on every cup. He takes his seat at the head of the table and says, Baroness, let me just interrupt you there. I want to lay out my vision. As you know, at the end of the month, we're going to be looking at our company-sponsored regional show choir tournament. Our team has made it to regionals. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody. But when he claps, it's massive because he's got two huge hands. Everyone else just kind of half-heartedly claps, except for Gonoth, the randomly biased, who like opens the portal to his interdimensional realm and like two little things come out, but then he starts going super speed. So it's like, oh. Okay, Gonoth, my man. All right, let's stop there. Friends, we need to have a demonstration here. As you know, we expect the Bladers to show up at our local company theme park in Metroville in order to put a damper on things. We need to have a monster ready. We've already agreed. No cybernetics this time around. You know what happened last time it got involved with Claire's magic. Okay, I got the monster team here. If you guys got ideas for a monster to take on the Bladers, sure. They've beaten us 37 times, but I believe in our collective vision. So let's just throw out ideas here. Duplidan, what do you got for me?
well, I was talking to Dan32, and he was thinking instead of it making it look like a monster, let's make it look like a theme park mascot. So even when they do win, we still look like we won. Because
The theme park mascot is Pumpkin Spice.
I don't want to have him hurt, though. I don't know, sir.
Let me tell you this. What if we make a giga-sized version of Pumpkin Spice in order to fight the Bladers' giant robot?
He
Look,
looks over.
let's table that. We'll circle back around. Claire, do you have any ideas for me?
Well, we could go back to some like mythical creatures.
Okay, mythical. What are we talking about here? Like Yuki Onna, Super Lion, Yeti,
Super lion
Mammoth?
would be cool. We could do like a phoenix or like a griffin.
Can we get the Phoenix to live infinitely? Is that within our technical capabilities? He's like looking around for someone to agree with him.
Dan's shuffling through papers. He's like,
You know what? I'm liking this idea. Let's circle back to it in just a minute. Pumpkin Spice, what do you got, babe?
Well, they keep fighting together when we get so close. Maybe if we had a critter that once separated became two entities.
If you can do something twice, why can't you do it 3 times? And when he says that, everybody but Overflow Exception is like, wow, that's genius. Jacob Freeze is just like, visionary, sir. Absolutely visionary, eh?
and still
All right.
shuffling through the papers, shaking his head every time someone talks.
We know that they're going to be using swords and rollerblades. What if you made something that when slashed turned into 3 copies of itself? Like a Hydra. That's a mythical beast. Ho!
Go.
He stands up and does a jog around the incredibly long conference table. Like, he's easily 40 feet away from you guys while taking his victory lap. All right, all I need for you to do is to make a Hydra that not only creates more heads when you chop them off, but also, just in case you kill it, it will come back after turning into a flaming pile of ash.
That'd
And
be cool.
it should probably have a sword in their mouths to fight the bladers.
Sword that also duplicates?
Wow, incredible. I hadn't even thought of that. Incredible, Claire. Where do you come up with these ideas from the monster development team? You know, one day a spot at this executive council of evil could be yours. Not that we like leadership, because everyone will be the same. Eventually, we'll make it that way. But in the meantime, you need leadership in order to make that happen. All right, everybody, let's give a big round of applause for the monster development team here. Let's make sure they get all the resources they need. Ho! And let's get out there and make sure that our show choir wins regionals, because I was thinking nationals could be on the board this year. Hey, Godoth, the randomly biased, says in English, nationals. It's the only time you've ever heard Godoth speak.
And it's actually creepier than the noises.
Oh, yeah, it's so bad. So we're going to be playing Metroville as D-tier supervillains. We're really not even supervillains. We're villains with superpowers. I just want to apologize to the creator of this game, Tyler Elliott, for giving me the opportunity to showcase it here. And then to roll it in with another superhero idea I was already planning to do. You guys, you need a couple of things to get started here. First, and this is overarching, you need to file all of the bureaucracy you'll need to, you know, get the egg for this thing. You need travel permits, passports. You got to make sure that the USDA, the FDA, the FDIC, the EPA, you got to get all of your evil contacts in all of those various bureaucracies around the world, not just in Metroville's United States, but, you know, and you have to get it past the Global League of Superheroes. That requires following a lot of bureaucracy. The following ones can be done in any order. You will need a Ponku egg in order to hatch the Hydra. And you'll have to alter the Ponku egg to make it into a Hydra beast. I just want to tell the folks at home, I didn't know that they were going to go with mythical beasts. We did that all on the edge. So I already had Ponku egg written down. You'll need to defeat the Hell Minions of Zardoth the Deceiver and steal one of his Panku eggs from his Hell Dimension. You'll need to create a childhood education plan that will teach the creature how to be a bastion of evil, but also a really fun mascot for the theme park in 30 days or less. So it's like a really fast plan after you hatch it. You'll also need to get weapons, the swords, to defeat the Bladers from the Forge Master Wilmondo Lorraine. She will only give weapons to people who can defeat her in combat, so probably you're going to want to have somebody go there for a one-on-one. You have 1 month until regionals, and at that point, your monster will need to defeat the Bladers. These are the red, green, and blue colored superheroes with masks who have both swords and rollerblades and use their extreme mobility and sharp blades to defeat your monsters every week. It's rough. It's rough facing the Bladers. They're really good at what they do. As you pass a couple duplicants on your way to your evil monster development lair,
Literally handing paperwork that you didn't even ask for yet, do you? Like, oh, this is the form you're going to need. What? Oh, you're right. Thanks.
You tell me what you guys want to do to create, you know, evil. I mean, listen, the one thing evil can always do is hire evil. And the one thing it can't stand is nothing. Evil can never do nothing.
Well, I think the first thing is it's pumpkin spice is feeling a little itchy. Needs to down this coffee.
Are you drinking
Okay.
it in pumpkin spice form?
Yeah, I feel like we can put it down on the table and I can sit next to it and tip it back. Then when it gets
5 out
lower,
of it.
just lay down on my back and just sort of to hold it up.
Amazing.
Starts
I
off
want to
like
imagine.
it's like a reverse caterpillar, like he's holding it and he's slowly tipping back.
I'm imagining it's like my cat when playing with a toy, right? Like all 6 of your legs are on it in various degrees and like lowering it like a car jack towards your face.
Yeah. And it's definitely at that unsafe temperature, but being an alien doesn't seem to bother pumpkin spice.
Oh my goodness.
So what do you guys want to do first?
So our design idea is to make a super size sword wielding rapidly regenerating Hydra me. Is that the idea?
Hydra Phoenix.
Hydrophene.
Hydra Phoenix shaped as the mascot.
It should be noted, you guys have made plenty of the monsters before. What's discussed in the boardroom and what actually get deployed are 2 very different things.
Yeah.
You probably won't have enough time to get everything. You may need to cut some things. You may need to work around it. But yeah, on the table, what is presented is a, multi-headed Hydra Phoenix pumpkin spice with swords.
So yeah, Dupladan slaps down 2 pieces of paper on the table, and he's like, "This is the preliminary cost analysis for going to the hell dimension to get this egg, and here is how much money it'll take us to fly us out to the sword master that you will most likely be the one fighting." Mr. Mascot, he slides him across the table.
Honestly, transit to the hell dimension is pretty cheap nowadays. They want humans to buy their hell energy.
Do they still have the discount Tuesdays for the Hell Dimension?
They do. They do have discount Tuesdays. It's because they want humans to buy hell energy during Taco Tuesday as like a 2-for-1 deal that they've got going on.
If we go on Tuesday, we could blend in with the taco crowd.
Well, he starts sliding the paper back, making adjustments, and it will also fill out we could lower the money that we're spending on our lunch budget for that week. And as well, yeah, that would work out. That could work out. We could also pencil in half of the budget for the education plan.
Oh, hey. We're already
We-
getting closer.
So we know where we can get the egg, and we know where we can get the weapons, and we know we're going to have to teach it. But how are we going to make it grow up into what we want?
With love and understanding.
Okay.
That was such a cotton answer, I'm going to be honest with you.
Slam dunk.
Well, this doesn't get off the ground until we get the egg, right?
Indeed.
So I suppose that would be first.
Operation Hell Tuesdays. Hell Taco Tuesday.
These I don't. That's a calendar thing. When do we leave? Can never get these day things right.
Tomorrow?
I mean, you came into work on Monday. Dupladan, do you have affinity for business?
I do.
I would like you to make a mind roll real quick.
All right.
I'm going to give you a moderate success at 2.
All right.
How many D6s are you rolling?
I believe that'd be 5d6.
Okay, so you need to get 2 successes, which is a 4, 5, or 6 on 5 dice.
Yes.
Okay. Affinity for business gives you +1 die to any mind roll.
Yep.
For this.
Yes.
Yep. That is 2 successes. You can do greater than 4 on roll 20.
I always forget how to type that in. I'll look it up real quick.
I got you. It looks like this.
So when we're rolling our skills, we just roll, if
Sure,
our
my
skill
crap.
is like
Okay.
4, we roll 4 D6.
Was it
Mhm.
4 or 3 we're supposed to be higher than?
So a regular,
4.
unless you have advantage or disadvantage, it's a 4-up. If you have advantage, it's a 3-up, and if you have disadvantage, it's a 5-up.
So if you say greater than 4, it's greater than or equal to in Roll20 syntax.
Okay, cool.
You really can't beat me rolling 2 6s on 2d6. I'm just that good.
So when you have a talent, does that how do those work?
Most talents will tell you whether they give you a bonus to something.
Okay.
So you need to check your talents and traits and such.
Right. So, like, for example, I have difficulty understanding humans, so I would have -1 to my dice pool when I'm trying to discern the motivations or convince humans to do something.
We'll talk at the end about how we made characters, but Kane took a lot of negatives for Pumpkin Spice.
I did.
A lot of negatives.
Oh, I forgot to mention. My character only has one leg.
Oh,
I
okay.
should have mentioned that in the character description.
I mean, is it like a peg leg situation? Do you use
Yes, 'cause
crutches or a wheelchair or?
I have wings.
The wings. You're just flying.
Oh, you have wings. All right, yeah, I'll buy that.
It is kind of like a peg leg situation for when I want to stand, because prosthetic you have to buy. So it's just like a little.
Wasn't in the budget.
Was not in the budget.
You really min-maxed as well, I guess.
Not really. I just took stuff that looked fun.
Sure. That's a weird part of character creation. Keep my eye on that. Duplidan, you get the bare minimum done. This is not going to impress anybody. It's especially not going to impress the other Dupladans who have to triple check your work. But you get everything filled out. You start all the clearances. They need a code name for this project if you name the monster here.
Ooh.
That's just a code name. It doesn't have to end up being the name of the monster, but evil organizations.
Project Rising Flame.
Yep.
Should be noted, we do know that the front company you work for is called Excelsior Unlimited, but your evil society is called the Exemplars of Historical Paragons. So everything you sign has the EPH logo on it. Sorry, EHP. Yeah, you get clearance to take a taco budget with you to the Hell Dimension tomorrow. Accounting is very glad to hear that you're pushing it in during discount Tuesday, right? They're willing to slide you a little bit of extra for go in for some tacos, just charge it to corporate, bring back the receipts, that sort of thing. They're going to cut a tax break on it because it's foreign travel. They get a big rebate because they're traveling to another dimension. So the government really likes it when you experience other cultures. They do set you up with a fight plan against Zardoth the Deceiver. So they're going to contact Zardoth's lawyers. The lawyers are going to hash out where the fight will take place, how many minions will be there. When you get there, you can do further negotiations before you begin your evil battle. Should you succeed, they'll allow you to get past them while they lie on the ground pathetically and go, no! And then you grab the egg of Ponku, sorry, not the egg of Ponku, that's copyrighted. The Ponku egg, and then one of them will dramatically whisper, the Ponku egg, before you go off panel. Just so that it's sufficiently mysterious for any heroes that are scrying.
Yep.
They just need you to sign at the bottom in triplicate.
He does.
Okay.
I forgot to add that I have a talent for paperwork and corporate bureaucracies at +2.
Okay. You can roll some
confusing.
more successes here if you'd like.
Yeah, I totally forgot about him because it's on a whole different sheet. Let's see, I'm just going to do one of the two. So 2d6. One more success.
Okay. They get you first class accommodations from your trip from corporate offices to the Hell Dimension Mouth. You'll have to travel outside of Metroville to a small town that's defended by a supernatural vampire killer and her quirky friends. It's gonna be like a day trip, but they're gonna get you like a nice, like party-sized bus, essentially like a RV, so that you can travel in style and comfort and maybe get some work done on the way.
Yep. Paperwork never ends.
It's in a place called Summer Village. Let's call it that. That's sufficiently copyright different.
I think when Dupla Dan gets off the bus, he's trying to be incognito a little bit, but it's only if he just has a hat on.
I mean, Dupla Dan is the one driving the bus. Another Dupla Dan is the one driving.
We
Yep.
don't know which one.
I have disguising. Could I have made us disguises?
Absolutely. What kind of disguises are you gonna get?
If you don't, then Pumpkin Spice is gonna wear an adorable little 6-sleeved Hawaiian shirt for a little vacation to hell.
What disguises do you take to Summer Village?
Is this like a tourist trap or what's it like?
It is the conflux of several ley lines of energy, where a ancient bloodline has allowed a young woman to take up. Have you seen a show about slaying vampires with a young woman in it? Made,
Perhaps a blonde or brunette.
I can't say the specific name on the air.
People get stuffy about those kind of things.
Okay, I got it. I got you now.
She occasionally has romances with both her angelic boyfriend and her evil vampire arch nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when you arrive at the outskirts of town, you're coming in on an overnight express bus, and someone is seated on the sign, "Welcome to Summer Village," with like slicked back blonde hair and like a trench coat. He looks like he walked directly out of the 90s. He's staring
I was gonna say, I'm thinking that we're all gonna be dressed up like 90s wannabe punk.
You will fit in with the aesthetic of Summer Village for sure. It's a small town that's solidly stuck in its aesthetic. That's how superhero, places are. Gotham will always be Gotham, Metroville will always be Metroville, and Summer Village will always be the 1990s and early 2000s occasionally. So you see
layers.
You see a brooding vampire. He's got like a cup of blood coffee, which he salutes to you all like he recognizes your evil van from the exemplars of historical paragons, and he's just like, And then he goes back. He's just like, "What will make my beating heart stop? How can I go back to the stillness of the grave, which I have had for centuries? Why now doth I seek it? Emotion tear at my heart no more. The blood is the problem." He weeps blood tears as your bus goes past him, and the Dupla Dan in the front seat is just like, jeez, what's in that guy's coffee? Am I right?
Must be a Tuesday because
Yeah.
he's out here whining again.
He holds out a high five for the other Dupla Dan.
I forgot we knew that guy.
This Dupla Dan moves to get on the ground before you. He like kneels on the ground before you, Pumpkin Spice. He's like, "Hey, little buddy, are you gonna need to borrow me for today?"
I think we're trying to be a little less conspicuous.
Not even in the hell dimension?
I believe I would appreciate a ride.
He just stands up. He T-poses.
So I claws out, I climb up the side of his clothes so I can sit on his shoulder and put my head on his shoulder and just slowly sink into his body.
You want to tell us what's up with you now? What your superpowers are?
I'm an independent alien symbiote. So as I start to sink in, we start to see the orange and blue start popping out of blood veins on Dupla Dan as I soak into his body.
Okay.
As one of these Dupla Dans is now speaking with the like the tone and pacing of Pumpkin Spice.
Claire, you want to talk to me about these disguises? I just want to know. Oh no, you told me about them already. Okay. Let's see. I
I'm
think
just
that
saying, original Dupladan is definitely wearing some of those like baggy chain pants.
amazing.
You added
I
that
wore
wallet
them in
chain
real
that
life,
hangs
so
down
my-
your
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wore them in
Yep.
real life. Yeah,
Is anyone wearing the pants where you have the zippers at the knees to take the bottoms half off?
Oh, yeah, that would
yeah.
definitely be, possessed Dupladan now.
Okay.
And like a Pantera t-shirt.
I was going to make this a 1 difficulty, but now that you are including such specific 90s references that will require you to source these materials, I'm going to need 2 successes on, I think it'll be a charisma roll.
I have
Can
another
I-
talent for fashion and design. Can I roll
Okay.
that as well.
Sure.
With this disguising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the, let me see
Give
what
it-
it says.
Given my
It
acquisitions,
doesn't say anything. It's a special talent.
I will
The
give
talents
you,
don't say anything.
yeah, I'll give you a +1 to this then.
can
Plus one.
I, given my slightly klepto past, provide a +1 die assistance under Claire's guidance?
I'm going to say no because she's making costumes. She's not like,
Claire,
Okay.
you don't need to
was that
steal
one of your
these.
unique talents or just a regular talent?
Fashion design was a unique talent.
Oh, those are
Disguising
2.
was a regular talent.
Those are +2s. according
Well,
to the
so
book.
you have a total of +2. You can either take one unique at +2 or 2 different ones at +1.
Yeah, she took a unique, so.
All right. So, sorry, was that
Okay.
your only unique talent?
Yeah, but it's a fashion and design, so I don't know if that's
No, you get a +2 on this.
okay.
So it's charisma +2. Sell me on this. Need 2 successes. Sell me on how this group looks. Could you look like you would star in a 90s?
So it's based on charisma. I roll my charisma +2.
Yep.
Okay.
How many dice you roll?
Oh, I rolled.
You forgot to
+7.
slash roll.
I know.
You also, did you ever actually call yourself Clairvoyant?
Yeah, that's her name. Her name's
Okay.
Clairvoyant. Yeah.
Love it.
Sorry. Not everybody can be Dupladan, but I tried.
He
Mine's
made his
just as
name
bad.
before we even opened the PDF.
Yeah.
Facts.
He saw the drive-through RPG page and just said Dupladan.
I got 1 success.
Oh, listen. Have we described? Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll give you. Their outfits look very 90s. What does yours look like?
Oh.
Because I don't know that you can hide wings.
Oh, they're definitely probably not hidden.
Okay, you are out of place in the summer village for sure. People are marking you as a supernatural entity for sure.
I do want to have one of those like headbands of like butterfly clips. She's trying to look like she's from the 90s stuff.
Maybe like a snap bracelet or something.
Yeah. She definitely spent most of her time sewing the other costumes.
All right. You all catch some attention in Summer Village as you start heading towards the Hellmouth. As you're getting nearer, you find that there's a young woman who is openly carrying a sword on her back and what appear to either be her polyamorous multiple boyfriends and maybe girlfriend, given how closely they're all talking to each other and also like giving fleeting glances at each other. Or maybe they're just like her close friends and or cast of a television show made for teenage consumption. They're talking so loudly, everyone in the area definitely hears them, but is pretending not to. She's like, huh. Hair swish. The Hellmouth has to be nearby. I'm sensing a sort of supernatural presence. Gillette, open your huge brain with your magical watcher book. Wait, what's it called? Watchers? I can't say that.
Yep.
No, you
Observers.
Observer's book.
Yeah.
give me any information that you can. And he's like, well, I'm the only adult at this particular soiree, and I'm feeling rather uncomfortable with all these youths here, but I feel like if I leave you, you all are just going to go make out in a corner, so I have to insist that we all retreat to the nearby library. They leave, and as they do, you guys walk around the corner. It's very clear that they were like 5 inches away from walking around a corner into the hellmouth. You could see the demonic gatekeeper is there, and he's just like, oh, hey, are you guys the party for the exemplars of historical paragons, or are you here for Professor Strangeness?
Oh, we are representatives of the exemplars.
Okay, we got your tickets right here. 3 tickets. He pulls them out, punches. All right, it's a day ticket. Show it to any taco vendor in hell. You'll get 25% off your meal.
Awesome.
All right, step through the hole. Get into this this Zodiac boat here. I'm about to start the motor. Keep your hands inside at all times. I'm not responsible, nor are any hell entities responsible if you get scalded by the burning hot blood of the tortured and damned.
Like, this is far more professional than the last time I was here. They've upgraded their services.
Reaching into one of the zipper pants pockets, Pumpkin Spice pulls out a small flask and sips a little coffee out of the flask.
So you guys are in like hell Venice. It's waterways of boiling blood in every direction. But instead of like historical Italian architecture, it's like a modern American shopping mall. But each store is like its own standalone from every direction little island. The damned in this portion of hell are forced to work retail jobs. And then when they get off work, they torment the other souls by demanding to speak to their manager. It's all a scripted parody of American shopping mall life. They only get like a few brief minutes of respite to like get something from the food court and like sit on a bench somewhere and cry and think about what they did wrong before the torture starts again. And the demons and devils are just there to ensure that the process continues. They let the humans torture themselves. That's not normal for hell. I mean, this is really an experimental part of hell. But yeah. So, you know, he drives you past the food court. There are probably the best looking tacos you've ever seen here. Like they got al pastor, they got, you know, corn tortillas. It all looks authentic as hell here. The demon is just like, hey, you guys want to like stop here? Or you want to keep on going to Zardoth the Deceiver? I don't know if you like to fight on a full stomach, or maybe you know don't want to throw up when you get punched. I don't really know. You know, some people they get mind controlled easier, and that's kind of our thing down here.
Wow.
You know, on a full stomach. You know,
we all look at her.
you got the itis. You know, if you get the itis, you really don't want to be going up against the hell minions of Zardoth the Deceiver. Anyway, look, I just gotta know because we're like pulling up real close.
Oh, I wouldn't want to make. I wouldn't want to give Dupla Dan 21 a poor experience and throw up during the fight. We'll probably definitely need a snack when we're done, though.
Okay, all right. I'm just gonna gun it then. Yeah, we're almost to the trash out. And he takes you like past devil security, like out back to where the mall would normally have, you know, giant trash containers. Your typical like Dungeons and Dragons style devils with like tails with spikes on them and like fully red skin with like fire hair and black eyes are back there. They're all wearing like punk jeans and like greaser jackets. A couple of them have baseball bats. It's clear that whatever aesthetic theater they're putting on for the humans, if someone were to come out here, this would clearly just be a gang fight between you and them. And like the lead one raises his, you know, logoed, but I can't say what logo it is, baseball bat towards the three of you, and he goes, "Hey, listen, guys. We really appreciate you guys coming down here. We haven't, had a lot of work lately. The humans basically just torment themselves down here, and Pumpkin Spice, I'm a huge fan of your work. I love the logo. I love the flavoring of the coffee. I gotta say, man, we stock it down here in this part of hell." No shit. He pulls out a flask with you on it, and he goes, "Look, see, oh yeah, yeah, decaf because I gotta cut back, but
Ooh,
Got your way out together.
decaf.
If you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
I'm so
sir.
sorry.
Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, okay, well, all right. Let's try and make sure nobody gets killed or anything. We don't want to add you guys to the residence here. I mean, we're all on the same side, right?" And like the devil is looking to his two other devil associates. The demon boatman is just like back there at the boat, just like, I don't even know why these guys are going through the motions of this evil fight.
He's literally like fouling his nails. 3 other things I could be doing today.
Let's roll initiative.
All right.
So initiative is agility or mind.
Or mind?
Or mind.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Whichever you like. Whatever works out for you.
Let me read battle strategy. It doesn't explain it. Okay, so that will not count that. All right.
Now, one success.
It's 4d6. 2 successes.
Okay, you guys all go before them. Amazing.
Would you like to go first, Dupladan?
Well, I certainly do, Dan.
So you're
Yeah.
looking at 3 greaser devils in a loose triangle formation. The one closest to you has a steel baseball bat.
Okay. Let's see here. I think his first action is just to go invisible. Just
Okay, you have 2 action points, so that's one of
he's
them.
gonna go invisible.
Yep.
And then he's going to move in for the attack. So because that's kind of what his brain tells him is the best way to hit is you don't just walk up and punch someone. That's uncouth for an invisibility person. You
Okay,
turn
so that's
invisible.
both of your actions is to turn invisible and move towards them.
Mhm.
Pumpkin Spice.
Okay. I think so. Pumpkin Dan will get a little low into a bit of a martial arts stance, and then put his palms together and reach underneath one arm.
Of course, you're using an energy wave because we can't say anything other than that.
Coffee, Hoffy.
Coffee, hoffy, ha.
And we'll fire an energy laser at the one with the baseball bat.
Okay. They are the same size as you, but they are distant from you.
One panel's distance.
Yeah. So it's difficulty 3 for a moderate success. That will just let you hit, and then he'll roll defense against your attack. Should you hit?
Okay.
Okay.
It's a lot of dice.
Nope. I didn't roll anything, so I didn't do this. Just roll. All right. You blast him for 3 points of damage to his stamina. When you hit him, I need you to understand that these guys are professional bad guys. They're professional at being defeated by superheroes. So when you hit him, he rolls into it and then flings back a few feet, slams into a dumpster and goes, ugh! And there's like a cracking noise. The bat drops. He's like, ah. I mean, you know your strength. You definitely didn't hit him this hard. He's playing it up for the comic panels.
Does it look like he's like dramatically like out of the fight?
No.
Okay.
He wipes some blood from his mouth. He says, huh, that's a pretty good shot. As he wipes the blood away, though, it catches on fire because he's a devil.
Pumpkin Dan screams and the blast gets a little bit bigger.
Oh, you're shooting again, huh?
Yeah.
Do you have
So
anything that
one
would take
die
away from...
penalty.
Yeah, multi-attack. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Same difficulty. Somehow you got even better. All right. Your second blast pins him to the garbage can. He's like, I'm being purified. And he explodes into like purified white light as he gains a halo and sheds his devilish skin and begins going up towards the ceiling. His voice changes. He goes, brothers, I have been purified of my sins. Join me. I move back to the heavens to rejoin our Father.
Well, that was my turn.
All right, there's just a loose baseball bat on the ground now. Clairvoyance.
I am going to try to read one of their minds to see which one is the strongest of the remaining two.
Okay.
I think it's a +1 difficulty because it's a different species.
Yeah. A devil is definitely different than you.
But I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed. Oh, never mind. I found it. I didn't read far enough down. I'm supposed to roll a mind for it +1.
Okay.
Or minus +1 to the difficulty. So whatever the difficulty is.
So the difficulty is 2 now. If it's +1.
I don't have a high chance of this, but No.
You have 1 success.
Did not get it then.
You look at one of the two devils, and you hear, oh man, I can't wait to get my hands on those tacos, man. It's so hard to get a fresh fish taco down here. We have to import it from the human world, and oh my goodness, if we get this done soon enough, I'm gonna be looking, I want that cheap stuff too. I want that like breaded cod fillet. I want to feel preservatives going into my bloodstream. It makes me feel alive. That's all you get from him.
Okay.
I love it.
Can I try to read the other one's mind?
Yeah,
See what
absolutely.
happens, right?
Same roll.
Yeah.
That's 2 successes.
Let's do.
All right. You read the other one's mind. The other one goes, oh, man, this fight's going to be really tough. The leader and Gornoth over there, we're all equally strong.
Oh.
Oof. Man, I really should go for that baseball bat, huh? I need a little something to back me up here. Ooh. I'm thinking if I hit the cat, is there something wrong with that? I feel bad. Like, you probably shouldn't beat animals. That feels wrong. It feels like something that would put me in hell if I wasn't already here.
Okay,
Is
I
that
want to
why
go.
I'm here?
Pumpkin, he's gonna hit you.
All right. The one on the left goes, huh? How'd you know? Huh? And you literally see exclamation question mark appear over his head.
Nice.
It's their turn. The one that was going to hit Pumpkin picks up the bat and runs forward and then takes a swing at Pumpkin. He goes, okay. And he does the thing where he tosses the bat in the air and he lets it go one rotation, then catches it, and he says, I'm a huge fan!
Gotta keep on script, though. Gotta keep on script.
You get defense against this?
Yes.
Do you have any body?
So
And do you have any
I-
armor?
I have no armor, but I can roll agility to try to not get punched.
You
It's
really
just
only
based
need
on that.
you only need one success here to block.
I also get +2 to my agility to roll to avoid getting punched. But we'll see how this roll goes.
Just one's all the way down. Nope.
Yeah.
4.
All right.
You kind of melt away. Like, nope.
Look, you know how it is in Dungeons and Dragons where when people describe an attack, they're like, it's one sword slash. No. This is multiple bat swings up in here. But you're like dancing with him. You know, Dupladan has the domino mask on. He's got that look of like the evil butler before the final boss who's a fencer sort of thing going on. And you do that. You just swoosh out of the way of every attack.
I feel like it's like hands in pocket, just sort of like doing the short steps and the shoulder turns.
The devil is sweating as he gets close to you, and he's just, you know, like when both of you are in the same panel, he's like, huge fan. But he's doing it from an angle where the comic book reader can't see. The other one goes for clairvoyant. He's
no.
deeply freaked out by Claire reading his partner's mind. And he's curious whether you read his mind as well. So he gets up in front of you with his first action. He's like, so reading people's minds are your thing, eh? Well, prepare to experience what's in my mind, the terrors of hell! Ha 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 ha! Okay, that's pretty good. That's 3 successes. That would be a mythical success for this bad guy. It's just gonna mark down experience on his character sheet towards frightening frightening and murdering tourists. Yeah. I mean, he's the devil of hell. What do you want out of him?
So,
Please do his job.
do we always roll body, or is rolling agility something you can do anytime?
You can do either or.
Yes.
To
I'm not good at
resist?
either. So,
Okay. You
Okay.
perfectly block his attack.
I want to.
I'm going to describe what his attack is, and you tell me how you get through it. So, again, he's dressed in a greaser jacket. He does like a full back lean, like, ah, ha, 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 and then like very telegraphed over his head, swoosh claw attacks, 3 of them in a row. You could see them coming from a mile away.
I just want to fly slightly out of the way,
Very easy for you to do.
and then I want to say, the only thing in your mind is fish tacos.
Ah, she's right. I love fresh fish, and I can't ever get it. I think we re-roll initiative every round.
Oh, okay.
Can anyone check me on that?
I didn't see a reference.
Let me try
Uh,
and find your initiative paragraph
Initiative.
real quick.
Is this indexed? Okay,
I
it is.
can spell it.
Okay, stressful situation, turn order. Sorry, guys, this is our first time playing. We spent most of our time making characters.
And having a great time at it.
We threw some weird stuff around. You're seeing the benefits of that.
Page.
Multiple attacks, combat rolls. This feels like turn order at the beginning of combat. Anytime. Okay, no, you're good.
We're just
Who
gonna
went?
leave it.
Yeah, it stays the same. Who did we have go first? Was that
Dupladan.
Dan.
Dupladan? You're up. Both-
Invisible man.
Both of so they've now moved past you.
Mhm. He was gonna sneak up behind him, but they just ran right by, and he's like, "Oh,
You could sneak up behind them again.
I can't see him." They just can't see me. So yeah, I guess I'll move up and attack the one that was attacking clairvoyant to try to punch him in the back and be like, "So it's rude to attack a lady."
Do you get a bonus for being invisible?
It doesn't say.
I'll give you a
about
+1 here then.
it. All right, because otherwise I have battle strategy, which is the closest thing to combat helping I have.
You don't have anything like punching or anything?
Mm-mm,
I think that's
don't
what you're
have-
just throwing then is like body, sorry, What's the other one?
Lion strategy.
If you're going to punch somebody, you roll body. And
Yeah, I think
your
you're just rolling.
excessive successes are damage on your punch
Yeah, I think you're just rolling body here.
Okay.
with your +1 for being invisible.
Yeah.
All right. So that is 3d6. One success.
You attack him from behind, and you give yourself away by saying something before you punch, and like your invisibility wears off just very briefly right before the punch lands. The devil's tail comes up and wraps around your fist, and the devil's head turns ominously behind, full on exorcism, spine cracklingly so, to look at you, and he says, "You think a bad guy like me is gonna fall for a back attack?" And like he snaps your hand away, and you back to invisibility. Pumpkin spice, Pumpadan, Duplepun.
Pumpkin Dan has someone right in front, so
true.
we're gonna go with we're gonna do some martial arts.
Wutai. It's space Wutai.
Oh wait, no.
I finally stopped rolling like garbage, but I'm guessing this is just gonna hurt really badly.
It does have a lot of dice.
Does look like it's gonna hurt really badly.
This guy, when you make a move on him, when you punch him, he rolls with it. But like he makes sure that one of his held teeth fly out. Every hit doesn't do as much damage as it should, but he plays it up. He makes it look good. There's extra blood everywhere, special effects. You think he might have a bunch of squig packets hidden underneath his like greaser jacket so that like it just lets boiling blood out into the atmosphere. He just flies back. He goes. What was the name of that video game? Comic Zone? Does anyone remember this game?
Yep.
It's like a sprawling fighting game. You punch him, he hits the edge of the panel that the reader's looking at, and the panel indents outwardly. Sorry, outdents, I guess. And he slides down the edge of it.
As Pumpkin Dan continues punching, everyone notices it's the same 3 moves, but at the high agility, they're going really fast.
Yeah. From your point of view, it's really slow. You're like, man, my timing's off today. I didn't have enough coffee.
Yeah. This Dan's not quite like this. This Dan needs. Oh, geez, this Dan needs to spend more time in the gym.
Dupladan.
Yes.
That's your turn. There's one left facing Clairvoyant.
Oh, when he goes down and the punches go as he goes down, I want to give him a real subtle fist bump.
Okay. He gives you a fist bump as well. He's dropping the bat in the process.
Oh, I guess I'm just going to try to punch the guy again because
I'm sorry. You went first. Yeah, my bad. It's Claire's turn.
She saw this coming.
Since he's now facing Invisible Dan, right?
I mean, his head is pointed that way, but his body is still facing towards you.
Then I will kick him in the chest from behind.
Just his front, but yes, I'll allow it. The direction of his head is not indicative of the direction of his body. His path of travel is towards you.
He's neck so twisted.
And it's fitting that I'm bad at this because I've only got one leg. I got one success.
Very well.
Yeah, we're both not combat characters.
No.
You kick him in the chest, and he grunts and just takes it, goes, ugh. You must know what's hidden here. The Ponku egg, the potential hidden within it. Sardoth the Deceiver was saving it so that he could create a new hell brood to take on the world. I'll never let the 3 of you get past me.
You should join us.
Listen, you have a second action. If you would like to convince a devil of hell to join you, I
want to convince a devil of hell to join us.
Absolutely. Make the roll.
What do I roll?
It's got to be charisma for sure. Do you have any talents or traits that would buy in?
Well connected.
Absolutely. Maybe you know
I
this
know a
guy through your
guy.
through your monster creation network.
So I was like, witness our power. Join the winning side. Your
Join
family
us,
would
Will.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I can see your future. You will join us. There's a reason I didn't pick stuff like that, because I just make terrible puns like that all the time.
I'm gonna ask for 3 successes, and you
I
got
got
2. He goes, I will not join you for anything less than Taco Tuesday. I want something out of the deal. You're covering my expenses.
Well, if you come back with us up to the surface, you can get a fish taco.
You would petition my leaving hell and provide me with all the fish tacos I could eat?
I'm sure Duplo Dan can work that into the budget.
You can't see it, but he's like,
Yeah, well, he's invisible. He's like, oh, God.
He holds out a hand. The hand is dripping with ink. And you know that if you strike a bargain with a hell minion of Zardoth the Deceiver, it is bindingly infernal. You may have failed, but he offers you a second chance at success. One that will destroy your budget.
I'll shake it because this is now Dan's problem and
Dun,
not mine.
dun, 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 dun. Like,
I feel like the invisibility fades away. His Dan's like,
hell energy emanates from both of you as you begin to lift in the air and twirl around each other. Your hair begins to stand on its edge as he goes, our bargain is complete.
lightning bolts.
He just goes up to one of the dumpsters when he gets back down, just flips it open. You can see there's a bunch of Ponku eggs in there. He just pulls one out. He's just like, all right, here we go. I got a Ponku egg for you, boss.
Thanks.
Dan's, oh my gosh, I worked so hard on it. Number 42 is going to be so mad. I told him I wouldn't let this happen again.
It's all right, Dad. Nobody's better at paperwork and budgeting than you.
Number 42 is better.
The demon boatman turns to the devil and they have like a quick discussion on panel to explain to the audience, the comic reader, what's happening. And he goes, so you're betraying Zardoth the Deceiver, huh? And he goes, no, I betray no one. I'm a devil. I live for myself, babe. And he goes, okay, well, if you're ever back in the area, call me, okay? All right, let's get you back to your new home, Earth. The Journey song, I don't know if I can represent this. I'm gonna risk it. Separate Ways, Worlds Apart plays. So in the back, the demon boatman and like the devil are like holding one hand toward each other and speaking in a hell language as the three of you are just like watching it go. Do you guys actually stop to get tacos in hell, or?
Well, yeah,
I
got punch tickets for it.
Well, they're 25% off. Your budget you have budget problems right now. I don't know whether you want to stop for lunch.
Doesn't want to.
It sounds like pumpkin spice ones too.
I feel like I can hear like the dupla Dan that I'm in and I are having an internal argument about whether or not I should have these. And I get off, I go to cut the line and I look over and I say, oh, look, you might have been here first, but I'm pretty sure that I need to pick my kids up from daycare, so I need this earlier than you, and just cut in line.
The human suffering eternal torment until they understand their punishment and repent for it. It's just like, wow, this guy is so evil.
I ordered myself a coffee and some tacos.
Oh man, the coffee here it's got like chili powder spiced into it, and like a little bit of chocolate is melted into it as like a hellishly delicious treat. The tacos are all amazing. I mean, everything is freshly made. The meats are excellent. The El Pastor has been roasting all day. It's juicy and moist. If you want hard shell, it's all crispy as hell. You got like corn, the best salt. You would sell your soul for this salsa. You don't have to. It's, you know, it's an extra $1 to get some salsa on the side, but you would sell your soul for it.
Sinfully good.
Yeah, sinfully good.
I will sell this budget for a few tacos at 25% off.
Free Dan is just he's writing fiercely in a notepad.
Try to keep track of the expenses.
Claire, you getting any tacos here?
No, I'm
Get
not.
one.
Okay.
And one for the little devil guy.
Okay. I mean, the devil has these tacos all the time. He wants the fresh fish taco from a city on water, which he's never seen before.
That's fair. Then I'll just get one.
Yeah, he doesn't understand what water is. Where he comes from, boiling blood is the method of liquid transportation.
It's fair.
Yeah. You guys make it back through the Hellmouth. As you're all climbing onto the bus, Dupladan, that's driving it, is just like introducing himself to the devil. His tablet pings with the budget expectations you've updated, and he goes pale, and he turns to you and says, Dupladan, are these numbers right?
Unfortunately.
I think you've got a real problem with us back home.
Yeah, I know. It went a little awry back there.
Look, normally you'd have to contact the CFO of the company, but she's currently fighting the time traveler Ezrin Miller after he tragically changed the past, killing Einstein. I don't know if you saw the news yesterday. There's a time wave making its way from the past forward that will rewrite all of existence and kill all of us. The CFO is trying to set things right by bringing Einstein back in a satanic ritual. But look, you're going to have to talk to somebody in accounting. That's all there is to it. Also, this is all on you. I had nothing to do with it. I'm going to...
42. Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right.
We got it.
As you're pulling away from the Hellmouth in the bus, you see a set of spunky teens and their librarian older friend running past you, and one of them just says, I smell the smell of magic. It's Zardoth the Deceiver. He's back for this season. And everybody's like, oh, no, Zardoth. And one of them goes, ever since I was tragically mind controlled by Master Zardoth. I mean, Zardoth.
I love all these references.
You make your way back to Metroville. The devil begins eating fish tacos. Have you guys ever been to a fish market? Cotton, I'm thinking your answer is probably no, given your geograph. But Kane, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
This guy heads down to the fish market. He's not even attempting to hide the fact he's a devil, but the citizens of Metroville are used to this kind of thing, right? Some of them hold out crosses and begin saying the Lord's Prayer. He just kind of waves at him, goes, oh, my powers are weakening, as he like brushes around them, you know. And he's just
no.
He's just like selecting fish and charging it to the corporate card, and then bringing it all to the company's cafeteria, where he sets about the workers to make him the fish tacos. He eats about $10,000 worth of tacos. He's got most of your budget for this month burned up instantly. You're in a lot of trouble, Dupladan. As it ends, he eats the last bite and he goes, now I understand. My endless gluttony was what was causing trouble for others. Only by being satiated can I recognize that mass consumption, it's all a scam. I didn't need these tacos. And he sheds his skin, becomes an angel, a halo appears over his head, and he goes, I've regained my true name. Thank you, friends. Through the power of evil, you've helped me recognize what good is.
I feel like Duplicate is running at him, trying to tackle him out of the air as he's rising up. Like
You
no,
pass
no,
through him
no,
like a ghost.
you want me to?
It was nice to meet you.
Thank you.
The swords. Think of all the swords you just got me.
My name is Kariel Numar. I owe you a boon, clairvoyant. Ah, like gates open up and he passes through it. Father, I've learned my excess ways. The gates close behind him. Shh.
The
Papa.
kitchen knife is flying towards him. It just barely hits the gates. Ding, ding, ding. Damn it!
Like after he disappears, Pumpkin Spice is sitting on the table with a mug and goes, "If that's what's gonna happen if I stop drinking this, I'm never gonna stop drinking this."
See, Dupladan, wasn't it worth it? If I hadn't have done that, he would have like punched me or something.
The head chef of the cafeteria is like, yes, and he goes over to a whiteboard and he erases it and puts 0 and it says days since our cooking caused celestial intervention. He's like, yeah. The cooks are all like high-fiving there. Woo! We did it again, boys. Keep it hot. No, seriously, keep it hot. I want to see that thing back on the stove immediately. What are you doing?
There, he's just got like a eraser on a piece of paper, just erasing an entire the project. Rising Fire Phoenix or whatever. He's erasing half of the project now. He's like, we just can't even do this now. No point even trying.
As you're
Oh, don't worry, Dan. We'll just like make a really cool jacket with our new Monsters logo on the back, and we'll sell that.
But we don't know. We need the swords.
Dupladan 1, report to accounting immediately. If you see Dupladan 1, pass along. Report to accounting immediately.
He literally like looks down in his sleep. Crap, that is me. He just want to make sure he's like, it just crumples in like, I perhaps will see you later. And he takes off, makes the music.
You begin making your way to accounting. There's a bunch of different branches of accounting here. There's like numerology. There's evil accounting. There's number fudge accounting, which is like an outsource. It's a contracting branch that contracts other companies that want to fudge their taxes. We do the fudging here at Excelsior and then send them the fudge numbers back so they don't have to do it themselves.
So easy to mess up.
You are headed to the executive vice president of accounting. He's in charge when the CFO's gone. I mean, it's technically not a he. It's a genderless entity from when the Earth was new. And, the great supreme overlord of all of existence who monitors everything, sung all beings into existence. The note was sour for this one, and eventually it joined with others to turn to evil. Eventually his hellish master would be rebuked, and then he would take his hellish master's place. He now exists as a giant ear made of fire.
You called for me, sir?
So you know how speakers and microphones can have opposite effects, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could, with enough electrical engineering and mechanical skills, turn a speaker into a microphone and vice versa, right? The ear can counter vibrate to speak, and it says, "You fool! Explain to me, the ear of Salnage, why you have done this. Why have you spent the budget on fish?" You are like blasted back. You're like, ah! Your soul is like physically being removed from your body. The world around you turns to black and white.
Hands is holding it, trying to hold it out. He's used to this. Like, no. He gets himself back together with a snap. Well, you see, there was a agreement to get the egg for expedient 6 to get the project on time, keep the project on time this time. The direct the leader of my project team decided that the devil spawn creature would speed up the process. We didn't have to continue fighting it and putting on the normal show. So she made a deal, and unfortunately, the creature negotiated a deal with her and didn't allow me to step in. And she bargained in the position of weakness. And his request was $10,000 worth of tacos made of fish.
You are blaming your team leader for your failures?
I am. He's like snaps back together. I'm not. I'm merely explaining the situation, sir or madam. There's no
I am a
harm.
genderless entity from before time existed. The supreme overlord being which created all things and monitors them, sung me as a sour note.
I'm gonna need you to make some sort of business roll here to appease the ear of Sarnaj.
Sounds like it. Oh my goodness.
I'll give you a +1 for throwing your team leader in the bus, by the way.
Very junior villain of you.
Yeah, it's a very evil move. It's one that Sarnaj has used themselves. That is not going to cut it, unfortunately. Sarnaj says,
You fool, you have doomed your own budget. As penance, I command that you create a new cryptocurrency and sell it to useless entities out into the world. Get them to fund you and your Hydra beast. And you shall call it Sarnaj Coin and Despair!
as Sarnaj says that, the doors behind him fling open and you're forced through them and you're like, no, I want to contest this. The door's shut in front of you. Two wraiths made of frozen terror like put their hands on the door and freeze it over with ice so you can't get back through it. And one of them's like, hey, sorry, Dan. Real bum rap you got.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. Tell him I'm sorry when he calms down, okay? He, she, they.
Of course.
It's been the third time I've had to do the Sarna coins in the last 2 years. Okay, we'll try it again.
Okay, so you have the Ponku egg. You can undertake any other task, but if you need to spend money, you'll first have to try to raise money by selling Sarnaj coin to hapless investors in this cryptocurrency rot world where there's no security and no one wants to buy shitcoins anymore. It's a rough life.
I feel like Pumpkin Spice has the egg on the floor and is just sort of rolling it around like it's a toy.
Something pulses inside of it, and you get the feeling that an exact copy of you, whenever you're touching it, an exact copy of you is inside of it.
Interesting.
Pick it up so that it doesn't break by being rolled on the floor.
Sure. Well, you have your hand on it. You have the feeling that inside is a much smaller egg-sized version of you inside of it.
We should figure out how to make this into a Hydra, though, before it hatches.
So I have a unique specialization thing, whatever, in anatomy. Can I try to make some kind of roll to techno-babble a way to genetically manipulate this thing?
Absolutely. I will require a mind roll.
Okay.
I'm going to say you need 3 successes for moderate.
Oof. Can
Is
I
there
get
something I
can
do
I
to
get help
assist him?
from people?
Is there help in this system?
I don't
There's
know.
aid another gives somebody 1 die.
I'll buy that.
Oh, can I aid another?
Absolutely. That's within your purview. You're the team leader.
We'll do that.
All right. So wish me luck. We keep rolling one short.
You have not managed to reform this thing into a true Hydra. Instead, you have reformed it into a Hydra version of yourself. It is now a 3-headed pumpkin spice.
We can sell this.
But whenever anyone else touches it, it turns into a 3-headed version of them with snake necks.
Oh, that's neat.
That's a stealth feature.
Whenever they touch the egg,
Like
or whenever
he's
it
Yes.
trying to
hatches if
find
they touch
any
it.
positive spin he can put on this right now.
So
We can't spend more money on this.
you're starting to
Okay.
find that whoever is touching the Ponku egg, the egg changes to match them.
Do we have any dragon-like super villains in our
Absolutely.
company?
There's
I
the
would like to
red
go and
dragon of
find-
Green Dragonsville.
I'd like to go and find one to hold onto the egg until it hatches, so that it maybe turns into a Hydra.
Okay. I mean, you'll be asking the red dragon to do something kind of outside of his purview, to egg watch. In his culture, men don't really watch the eggs, right? And it's not that he's against egg watching, but normally they're involved with raising the young, not hatching them, right? You know what I mean?
What about
You don't have to do much. It just to touch the egg so that it comes out and the ultimate monster. Wouldn't you want something as fierce and amazing as you walking around on the battlefield?
we just keep the egg on a pillow so we don't touch it?
Oh,
And
would
then we're
that
just
work?
hey, would you grace it with your fearsome energy or whatever and touch this egg? And I'm totally willing to roll with my adorable thing to try to convince him to touch this egg.
I think it's Claire rolling, but I will give a +1 from you.
Okay.
If you
Big
fail,
cat eye sitting on
it's
the shoulder.
just his culture doesn't really allow for egg hatching. It's not
Would
that he.
animal affinity help me?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a dragon. I'm gonna ask for 3 successes again. Not everyone can roll like King Damiel here.
No.
The man just oh, you need 5 successes? I got you.
So I have 1 from my animal affinity and 1 from the aid, right?
Yep, and charisma.
And my charisma, which is 3. So I have 5. Oh, I did that wrong.
It
But
doesn't matter.
you
You
got 4
succeeded, but with
successes.
an extra one. You can mark a heroic success.
Sweet.
Well, no, that's actually a mythic success because it's maximum DC -1.
Well, where do I mark?
I have no idea.
Because I only see that on the
On the-
talents.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
see it
when
on
you're trying to
powers.
level them up, I believe. So you'd mark that on there, I believe.
Oh, so
On
so for stuff, if this wasn't a one shot,
Yeah, you're definitely. I want the audience to
Right,
know what's
right.
happening here.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, because on the character sheet next to the
oh no, I see it. I see. Well, that's I
next,
see
next
the
to the
powers.
talents, there's heroic and mythic checkboxes, and you did use one of your talents.
Yep.
So that would have checked one of those off.
No, I used one of my traits.
Well,
Not a talent.
Oh,
Animal affinity is a trait.
all right. So
all right.
the Red Dragon of Green Dragonsville gets up, goes to talk to his manager. They have a short discussion. He applies for some overtime. A Dupladan comes in. He signs off the paperwork. Pulls out reading glasses on the chain and puts them down. And he gets out the employee manual. And he sits in his office chair, puts the egg against his stomach, and he begins reading the employee manual to it. He's like, all right, you're going to need this knowledge, little egg, when you hatch. You're going to be just as beautiful as your father. That's me. I guess I'm kind of like your stepdad, but you can just call me dad when you hatch. And the egg kind of shakes slightly, and he's like, that's right, little guy. Let's teach you to be a dragon. All right, employee manual for the Excelsior Unlimited. Do not remove from the offices. Everything discussed herein is confidential. Chapter 1, employee preparation.
I want to step away for a minute. I have something going on. in my house.
Okay.
In a hurry.
Can I give him a little children's book to read as well?
Yeah, but he sets it aside. He's like, "Oh, if we get through this thing, we'll get to it." You look at the book that he's reading, the Excelsior Unlimited Employee Handbook. It looks like it might be longer than the Bible. It's clocking in at like 1,200 pages.
Okay. Do we know how long it's going to be till this egg hatches?
No idea.
Okay.
You failed your roll.
That's fair. I guess I'll help him until the egg hatches, though.
Okay.
We do also need to get the weapons and
Well, the weapons I was told would be best as a one-on-one battle, and that is not my strong suit.
Let me say this. We're at time here. I feel like this is a good place to start calling it. We may not see whether the regional show choir succeeds. Maybe we'll come back with a second one shot, two shot, really. I want to make sure we get time in here to discuss character creation, the book layout, how we feel about the system. We get Soundwave back, all those things.
so we have like a Pumpkin Dan working the speed bag, getting ready to go work on getting these weapons as we fade out or something.
Yeah. Wow. Tyler Elliott, I apologize for ruining your system. I'm sure that when played as superheroes correctly, it's probably a little bit less ridiculous. And I crammed in as many pop culture references as I could. Maybe skirted the line of certain copyright properties. What'd you guys think?
Of our little one-shot about or of the game in general.
Both.
Well, I had fun.
That's always a good sign.
Mhm.
I enjoyed leaning into an incredibly silly game with a silly character. But we sort of had a very not at all remotely serious premise going into this, so it was fun to lean into it. I do like I like game systems that do dice pool building.
I couldn't tell based on how you built your character.
I mean, I've played a lot of other kinds of dice mechanic games, so
Have you ever played Burning Wheel?
no.
We need to get you into Burning Wheel.
Okay.
You would love it.
The once I figured out how to look for some of the information that I needed during character gen, it wasn't complicated, which was nice. And I do like how the powers were sort of simplified to make it easier to use them in a creative fashion without needing to be bogged down with too much rules arbitration.
Apologies.
Which I think is speaks well, because that's going to be challenging to do with the kind of different things people are going to want to do to bring in powers they've seen from their favorite superheroes or whatever. That said, it did take me a little bit of time of going back and forth through the book in order to find the stuff I was looking for.
Yeah, I'll say
And
I had
some
similar
questions I never got answers to. So.
Yeah. I had trouble with the book layout.
Yeah.
Fortunately, with the PDF, Control F is kind of a good friend. As long as you've read it all before. So it's like my EIT exams as an engineer. As long as you know where the answer is in the giant book of formulas, you don't need to know the formula. You just need to know where to flip to and how to apply it to the question. You know what I mean?
Once you know how to find it, you can just.
Soundwave, we're wrapping up because we're close to time, and we're just talking about our experience with this game, this session, the book, all that stuff. You got anything to add here? Just putting you on the spot as soon as you sit down.
Yeah, of course. Perfect. I agree a lot with what Game was saying. With it's good ideas. It's all there, but it's jumbled a little bit in certain spots. Simply, most likely because it made sense to the people that put it there, but there's some people not sure where it is. The combat stuff didn't seem as solid as just performing the actions. Like using your power to shoot something that seemed pretty straightforward, but if it came down to, okay, how much did I do versus how much I didn't do, those got a little weird. And the leveling system, the PowerPoints was a little odd because you do the thing amount of times, but you have to get like the mythical successes to equal up to a PowerPoint that you can then use to make your +1 or +2 a little better. Could have been a little better explained, but I mean, for the size of the book, it's still fun once it's run. It's just getting to that point was a lot more work than I would expect, but it doesn't take you as long to understand it either, because it's literally just like everyone rolls a d6. I played Mutants and Masterminds, which is everyone rolls a d20, but that's the only easy part about the whole book because you're doing 150 points. Everything has a point cost. It's all arbitrary, and you start adding math into it. This was pretty much going, you pick a power, you pick a little power, or you pick 2 little powers, or it was a lot easier for character creation once you went to the point of what do I want to do. So it felt a lot more fun for character creation than even playing was. Like, it was a lot easier to just throw things at the wall and just like not have to math hammer to get them together.
Cotton, what do you got?
My only problem would be the layout with the book as well. I think the system is pretty cool. I think the dice building is neat, and I think battles could be pretty easy, though we didn't get to test that out too much. I know I really liked how they did their character creation in the book. Like, they had the little first part that told you, like origins, superpowers, starting attributes, and then if you go to those pages, you have them. Except for the starting attributes, they didn't make it later on. They just left it at the very beginning, which I think was odd. Because if you're going down the book, you can go down in the orders. Step 1, origin, go through all the origins. Then you can go to step 2 and all the superpowers on, that part. And then you get to step 3 and you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the book to get to the attributes. And then you go all the way back to where you were to get to step 4 and read all the talents. So they could put a little section on the attribute points, like right in the middle there, would be nice.
Like just a page, because they could have
Just a
done it with just a
page.
single page with just a copy of that same table.
Yep.
That would have worked.
They could have taken that table out and put it there.
Look, I need to go back to my guy going off the randomly biased from marketing. We just tie all this together to say we had fun playing,
Yeah.
and once we understood how the book worked, we had fun. Took a little while. Room for improvement, maybe like a revision or just
And
next project.
Everything we were talking about needing improved was not a big deal. It was just personal choices with the layout of the book, not
like
the actual system.
None of it was core to the game. Like,
no.
Having read it, if I verbally explained how to play to somebody, it'd be a really simple explanation and we could really get into it, make characters really quick. It's just trying to pull that information out of the book. That's sort of the challenge.
It was jumbled a little bit.
I also initially
oh, go ahead, sorry.
I also initially thought that there was that this was a game to play with friendly people, not anybody who's going to be crunchy, because it looked like it was abhorrently misbalanced for different types of choices. But being the character making addict that I am, I made like 6 or 7 characters just to see how they stacked out, and it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. It really didn't seem like it was any like that sort of relative power scale, I guess, depending on how fluffy or crunchy you want to get with it, is about the same as it is for a lot of other games.
Yeah, it felt it was leaning more towards the narrative side than, the traditional crunch of where, Batman can somehow fight Superman hand to hand because their skills points are equal and stuff like that. It was just sort of like, well, what do you do? Tell me what you want to do and do it. And then it's like, we'll see if this succeeds.
Yeah, where everything was framed in the narrative. I did like that.
I think that people are doing less narrative games, so it's really nice to have a system about that.
Yeah.
I guess we liked it.
Is there anything you guys want to add about your characters, since we kind of introduce them periodically rather than all at once?
What do you mean? Like, do we all want to talk about how we built them, or?
Maybe. I mean, the audience only knows what we introduced, right? We didn't do a big character introduction at the beginning because I wanted to do the CEO greet you and then what's it called? Glad handling you into the room.
Yeah.
One thing that didn't come up that I wanted to come up, but you didn't know it was going to come up because it was going to be a surprise, was Claire has a phobia of making important decisions.
God,
So
you're
I
just
gotta-
playing. You're just playing yourself at this point.
I know. Except I have both of my legs,
Cotton buoyant.
but I don't have wings.
Yep, those are the only two differences.
She's also anemic, but I'm also anemic.
You guys really dug in there to get those talent points.
No, mine
didn't
was
really.
for fun. I took phobia because I thought it would be fun, and I took missing limb because I thought it'd be fun to draw. And then she had a previous skirt anyway, so you couldn't see it.
Well, I mean,
there was a lot of availability in the trades to do fun stuff. We just ended up talking about, like, my original concept just sort of went sideways as we just started talking about playing an adorable cat.
mhm.
So there was a trait to take to become small enough to be a cat, and then we wanted to be adorable, so I spent a bunch of trait points on being adorable, and
Yeah.
then to balance it out, I had to take a few things like being cripplingly addicted to coffee. Massive
Had to.
dice penalty for if I don't consume coffee every 24 hours. Being gullible, like there's a lot. I did think that, I mean, we just talked about fun things and it ended up finding things applicable to put that onto a character for fluff. I
Yeah.
thought that was neat.
I mean, you're really min-maxed by using a duplicated copy of one of your teammates as your
Well,
base of stats.
Well, so I thought it would be like, we ended up talking and the symbiote thing ended up being fun, but I was like, I know what I add to a character, but I didn't we didn't discuss at all what Duplidan's stats were going to be going into this. We just knew that he was going to end up with more agility while I was riding shotgun.
Yeah.
So he could have come in with like 2 body, 2 agility, and it would have been like, all right, cool. Well, that's what I'm rolling with. So
I thought about that, but I decided to go average on agility because I was trying to build my guy like I want to be like a Bruce Wayne's what's his name? Butler. Alfred meets ninja instead of Alfred is Secret Service. So I gave him parkour, duplication, which his name implies. Technically I took it because it's thematically right. Duplidan is completely thematic. He was not built for good. I didn't try to make him good at anything except bureaucracy. Duplication, I didn't even fill it in. I just wrote the word there. And we've gone with it's always on. But duplication's literally like you do a test, you see how many stamina points from your own stamina pool the character that version of you has, and then they're completely separate living creatures, and it's only every time you do that happens, and when they run out of stamina points they just vanish. But we just rolled with what we rolled with. And let's see, invisibility was a little minor thing. Let's see, what was my special thing? I took one negative trait, which was injured, and I immediately hooked it into the way that we said his origin was in his creation. So it was like I said, he just stayed thematic the whole time. So he didn't play out as well as I'd hoped, but that's mainly because we got into a combat and I have no skill.
If you wanted to duplicate during combat, we would have talked about all of that.
Someone's at my door again. Sorry.
Jeez Louise. Kane, who are you?
I'm Kane DeMail. You can find me on AP's Discord. You can also find me as a repeatedly dying guest star and actor on one of his shows. It's now ended.
We got one more episode tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got the
wrap up.
town hall as it is, and then the show was over.
Oh, feel amazing.
One of my neighbors got locked out of their house. So.
Listen, I've knocked out campaigns left and right. This one feels like it's a pretty big one.
In the recording schedule was pretty intense for
the recording schedule was awful. But I'm never doing it again, but it was very interesting to try.
Yeah, the first season was insanity.
Cotton, who are you?
Howdy. I'm Cotton. I doodle and stuff. That's about it.
Very well. That's not all it is. All there is to her, but I will take it. I would hate for her to have to make an important decision.
She saw you would say that.
Sound waves, sound waves ghost.
I am Soundwave's Ghost. I play games on the internet and run games sometimes on over on Lucas G Varieties channel on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays, I'm currently running a Fallout RPG based on the 2D20 system by Modifius. They put out a year or two back now, probably. It is on its, I think it's gonna be third episode next Tuesday, and they're just now getting moving, and we're just getting comfortable with the rules, so that's fun. Thursdays is D&D rotating with Band of Blades, which is a 2D6, powered by Apocalypse styled system. That's going to take one of those two. I think it's D&D is going to take a break here in a couple weeks because we have a castmate that's about to have a kid, or his wife's gonna have a kid, obviously, and we want to get him done with the game because the system has a clear endpoint where you reach a certain place and the game kind of ends and kind of tallies up a score to see how well you played the entirety of your campaign. So we're trying to get there faster. So we're going to put D&D on hold until that's done. So hopefully get it done pretty quick because if you actually were racing towards the end, would probably take 3 sessions, but life doesn't ever let you race towards an end of any campaign on purpose. So things happen. So it's taken an extra 4 months to get where we are, where we should be. But it's about it for me. Yeah.
And you're gonna, well, from in the beginning when we were talking about when we got introed, you said you were gonna show that art, right?
Oh yeah, it was on the screen the whole time.
Okay. Do you want to claim credit for your own art? Since people are gonna see it?
True that.
Cotton made that art. We're bullying Cotton into admitting she made that art.
You gotta be joy.
She was paid for it too. We had to force the money from my hand into her hand. Sorry.
It was cute. I was very amused when you sent it to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's amazing. Don't change anything about this guy. I love him already.
If you're here, you already know who I am probably, and if you don't, stay a while, take a look around. That's all I've got. This has been our one shot of Metroville by Tyler Elliott. Sorry we didn't get to go longer into it. Hopefully you got an idea, a feel for the book, and maybe you'll check it out on DriveThruRPG, the link for which is in the description section of this video. Thank you for joining us. Have a good time zone wherever you are, and happy birthday if it's your birthday.